Greetings and welcome back, everyone, to Into the Nexus episode 41. I am Garrett Weinzierl, and sitting next to me for the first time ever is Mr. Kyle Ferguson.
I don't, like, do I look you in the eyes? I'm looking at a screen. You know, it's just more comfortable if we just don't look at each other the entire show.
Well, I can, but yours is so, your mic is so directional that you need to start, like, kind of caressing it as you come around.
You know, we just really romance it. Get up on there.
And then you watch your levels peak out when you do that.
That's true.
Yeah.
True. So, you know.
So don't do that.
Got to keep the balance here. But yeah, this is our first time recording an episode live together in the same room. Weird.
It is. You know, now, this is going to be a bit of a fun show. We still got a regular show planned for you. If you're watching this on video, you're probably like, what the hell is going on? Where is the overlay? Well, I was sick all week, so I didn't have time to really drum anything up. And as you can see, we're kind of utilizing as much space as we have. So if we threw a bullet list over here, you wouldn't see Kyle's beautiful face.
Just gonna Mike Wazowski me.
Exactly. Mike Wazowski, Monsters Inc.
Yeah, there you go. You got it.
Why was his face covered?
Well, every commercial they run in that, you know, cartoon, they'd always put the Monsters Inc. logo over his face, or he had like a sticker over his over in the magazine.
Oh, okay. Well,
but you were sick, dude. Did you not watch a bunch of Pixar movies?
I did, but no, I had to work this week.
Oh, gotcha.
I had to work while sick, so yeah, it's no. You know, like when you start working from home, you get really stoked. You're just like, yeah, working from home. The one thing that sucks though is when you're sick, the people you work with no longer care that you're sick because they're not at risk of also getting sick.
That's true. So
they're just like, yeah, you know, you got to keep working.
No more contamination.
Yeah. But, yeah, so, I mean, geez, Kyle, you and I have been podcasting together for what, almost 5 years?
Oh, my
July?
goodness. Yes, you're right. 5 years.
Is it 5 years?
Yeah, it is.
Is it 5 or 4? How long have we been out of college?
No, that's because that was 2009. So we made it to 2010 when we started StarCast.
Okay.
So, yeah, 5 years.
5 years.
And we never meet. Well, it's a Thursday night, so, you know, we had a show.
Yeah.
Normally.
Yeah.
We didn't cancel the show, because why would we? Brought along my mic. You've got your mic here. You've got this gorgeous setup. I'm getting to see all the behind-the-scenes buttons you have to deal with as I just sit there and goof off for an hour and a half. I mean, you've got work here.
Yeah, you know, it's fun.
Job of a host.
It's, you know, heavy is the head that wears the awesome crown.
That was profound. But we did just get done with some bracing Super Smash Bros. Games.
We did.
Not something you can play online. Well, I guess maybe in the new versions.
Now you can. Well, you can play the old one online too, but it sucked and it was kind of terrible.
Yeah, wanted to even try that. I did it once, and it was connection issues.
Yeah, it's bad. I just picked it up for 3DS though.
Okay.
And the online on there is great.
Well, 3DS has the whole Wi-Fi thing going on.
Yep. But like it's way more robust than the version on Brawl. It's really nice. But this isn't really a show about that. Although I do have to say, I whooped you good.
Dude, you're a mad link. Granted, I was on, you know, the Wiimote and nunchuck.
Yeah.
While you were on a game
and
controller.
To give this man credit, he did take a couple games off me using the Wiimote and nunchuck. So good on you, sir.
Handicap.
I can't do that. It's all GameCube controller all the time.
And really, if there's one Blizzard game that we get to talk about Super Smash Bros., it'd be Heroes of the Storm.
Yep. Yeah, it would be. So how has your week been? Now, you've been traveling a lot, I assume.
Yeah.
Did you get any games in?
Before I left, actually, Kristen's been on a Mad Lily kick. So I've basically been able to play whatever warrior or melee assassin I want to and have this pocket healer following me around. And it's been a delight. So right before, we squeezed in a lot of games, but since then, of course, been traveling and going to Disney World, which is updated and crazy.
Yeah, I haven't been back. You said there's a bunch of weird updates, but I don't know. And to our listeners, I apologize if you're hearing me kind of sniffle and cough. I'm still sick, and since we have two mics in the same location, the mute button does nothing. So I'm going to end a lot this show, so I apologize.
But don't get me sick.
I'm going to get you so sick.
Oh, he's all clammy.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Well, there's quite a bit to talk about tonight, Kyle, so I guess let's get into it. Let's get into this week's news.
We're on, boys! Ha-ha! Let's light liven up this place!
Can stitches play now? Point me to the stage.
I will not point you to the stage, ETC, because I, for one, am sick to death of dealing with your shit.
Having a rough ET. He's back right now.
He's everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm fighting the urge to face and talk you and ruin the
I
directional
know. I
mic.
gotta keep focusing on the mic, or it's not gonna pick up. I just have to build a little ramp for my voice so I can look right at you.
Yeah. Anyways, just a reminder, you can go to itncast.reddit.com to submit stories or to upvote stories you would like to see talked about on the show. First up this week, Kaeo Milker had an interview with Red Bull this past week about some of the stuff going on in Heroes of the Storm. And one of the questions that they asked him was that, do you plan to bring back any more characters from Blizzard titles from around the 90s? And he said, absolutely. And he specifically name-dropped Blackthorn and Rock and Roll Racing, which I'm not... Are we going to have like race cars? How are they going to do rock and roll racing?
I mean, they could. We have Asmodan, who's, mountain free. And Lost Vikings are some bizarre characters, and, clearly they're willing to break the mold of normal MOBA. I mean, we have Meepo and Dota, but Lost Vikings still, it's a very unique situation where you start with 3 characters immediately off the bat.
Yeah, and I really, for me, it was just, I get Blackthorn. He's a big kind of metalhead dude.
Sure.
Makes sense. Lost Vikings are people, but like race cars, you're just gonna have race cars like running around the track.
It could be fun. I mean, we had the Siege. Was it the Siege engine in Warcraft 3? That was just a little mobile. So pulling up, stopping. The racing aspect, who knows? The faster you go, the more damage you do. What kind of traits you have there? But they're clearly willing to cater to this audience, and I'm sure there's people internally that are just stoked to put up original games like that.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. And what, they have the siege tank, which is a vehicle, and that works fine. Although it makes more sense for a tank to be starting and stopping all the time, like I don't know, race car just seems funky.
Yeah, a racing game car and then laning phase? Not really.
Yeah. It'd be like putting a fighter in Smash Brothers that was riding a Mario Kart cart the whole time.
Yeah. Which they might have done. I don't know. I haven't played
it. I have the new one on DS. I haven't played it on Wii U yet, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
3DS.
Greyfire makes a great point. Captain Falcon.
Oh, just the character, not the car?
He jumped out of his car.
That shows how much I know about rock and roll racing. Are there like actual characters that race these cars?
Yeah, there are. Each character you would pick would have his different bonuses and plus to movement speed or, plus to turning kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Much like, when you play a racing game, Need for Speed, the cars all kind of have their own personalities. I personally always tricked out a Ford Focus for some reason. I don't know why. I
did that, and the Honda Civics. Those are like my 2 favorite.
Nice.
It was an arcade game, and the handling on those cars was just stupid.
Yeah, that's true. I was what was it? Xbox original. They had the Need for Speed game.
I had it on the GameCube, so yeah, that would have been the same generation.
Yeah, and it really, I mean, all it is about running from the cops. That's why you played that game in the first place.
Yep.
So, Need
for Speed Underground 2.
Yes, that was the one.
Yeah.
And it had
that One Doors song.
Riding of the Storm.
Riders on the Storm.
Yeah, Riders on the Storm. Yeah.
Yep. The other question that was asked was, they said that both League of Legends and Dota 2 have big problems with toxic players, likely exacerbated by the heavy focus on teamwork. How are you dealing with these problems in Heroes of the Storm? Which was by far the longest and most extensive answer.
Sure.
And to kind of highlight it, Milker said that our first leaning was to disable team chat between players that aren't partied by default. And we heard Dustin Browder talk about this in the past at BlizzCon, saying that they originally kind of were playing around with only having pings. But Milker went on to say that we weren't thrilled about introducing something to combat toxicity that would simultaneously eliminate players' abilities to make friends and find like-minded teammates in our game. Quote, instead, we're going to introduce a mute all button in the upcoming patch to allow players a quick, easy way to opt out of allied chat at the beginning of the game. The setting will be saved game to game and can be easily changed on the fly should you change your mind. So cool, we're getting a mute all. That makes me happy.
Sure.
Something Searanex in the chat room is making me laugh. But it's something I've won and I've always enjoyed in my Xbox games. It's the only way I can play a game of Call of Duty and not want to murder everybody that I'm partied with.
Yeah, I've never played a shooter online really too much, particularly team shooters. I've played Left 4 Dead, but that attracts a certain, it was always the hardcore version where you only fought the zombies. There wasn't any enemy players, and so that was just about everyone helping each other out. So from the get-go, you had a good environment. But muting it from the get-go, I like it because there are those people that are too sensitive and won't play the game without it. But there's always the chance that that one ass in the beginning of the game just is right. What are you going to do?
Yeah,
you should listen to him.
I don't know. But apparently what they're going to do is they're also going to try and incentivize good behavior. They said that there are some really cool systems like this in existing games. You and I are big fans of the Dota 2 model where you can commend a player.
Yeah.
Which I really think if you're going to have a report feature, you should also have a commend so that you're incentivizing both things. Like, well, if you're a jerk, you know that there's a risk that you're going to be reported. But if you're nice and you're helpful, you know that there's a chance that you're going to get commended. So apparently they're working on something like that. They said, quote, "We'll be introducing our own spin on these systems in a future update and hope to give positive players a pat on the back while dangling some carrots for those on the verge of being negative." And then I feel like after this, they wrote, "Garrett, we're watching you."
On the verge.
You on the verge of negativity, dude. Because, like, I'm generally not a negative person, but,
sure.
like, the second shit starts to go wrong, I just turn into, like, the soup Nazi, man. It's just like, no, you go here, you do that. Why did you turn away? I stunned that dude. Why didn't you engage?
You're one of the reasons we don't have a concede button in this game, because you would be threatening everyone else to press it and move on with our lives.
I'm not that bad. I do like to play games out for the most part. That being said, I did have a couple games this week where it was totally over after 5 minutes, and I would have loved to have just left. But
yeah,
that's generally, that's not how I generally am.
No, not at all. No. Well, I wouldn't be playing with you, honestly. Like, we would have had a sit-down talk at this point. Garrett, if you're gonna be on my team, we gotta work this out. It can't be playing like that. But really, the command needs to be multi-featured. I really like on Dota that you have, the leaders, the just a nice guy option, and then you can commend people for being teachers and helping you figure out things.
Yeah.
So if we could actually have they said honor system, which of course for me goes World of Warcraft, and I think points. And how awesome would that be if you could turn in all your nice guy points to get, the nice guy pony to ride around?
Yeah, I would be down for that. Like if you get enough teacher points, you get the pony that has like a graduation cap on it.
Yeah, or just riding around a podium with little rockets.
It poops out diplomas as it runs.
Yes,
instead of rainbows or whatever it is the other stupid mounts do. They also talked. Milker also talked more about the punishment side of things. They said that there are some new tools that are currently on the table, including auto-silencing toxic players from communicating with anyone that they aren't friends with. Oh my god, I want this. I want it so bad.
Yeah. I'm just so curious. Like, it's morbid curiosity. It's like when you go into, a store and someone's just like ragging on the management. And it looks bad from a distance, but you just kind of start shopping a little closer. So you can overhear the whole conversation. And so, I just want to know. I want to see a video when we finally have, the toxic jail of all those people just ragging on each other.
That would be nice. That'd be very... yeah, or it could be a feature for us. Like, you could then have, a library of all the stuff that was blocked that you can just go back and read.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
Like public shaming. Just put those conversations up online, Blizzard. I don't know if Paladin would be the nice guy mount.
Yeah, that's what chat room's saying.
If anything, Priest would be the nice guy mount, because I remember back in the day doing mind control on enemy players just so I could have that split second where I could cast stamina on them.
But priests don't have a mount.
Well, I know, but just make it priesty.
Make it priesty.
Yeah, put some angel wings on the shoulders or something. That's usually what they do to make things priesty.
Well, we do have the Tyrael mount in WoW, which has that.
There we go.
Yeah, there it is. They also said on the punishment of the things, they're considering removing toxic players from the regular matchmaking queue and only placing them in teams made up of other toxic players.
Do it.
Which is just too much toxicity. It's just going to bubble over. That'd be amazing.
You would stop, wouldn't you? I mean, if you accidentally ended up there, you would have to just, I don't know, abandon ship.
Yeah.
They'd probably go back to their old games if that happened to most players.
Yeah, probably. Will we lament the loss of the a-holes?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. Don't lament the loss of the a-holes, everyone, if you take anything away from this episode of Into the Nexus. The final thing Milker brought up is that the other area that they're exploring when it comes to combating toxicity and making a better play environment for everyone is their upcoming clan and group system, which he did not really detail at all, but it needs to get here. It needs to get here now, because A-Move chat is great and all, but I want a tab with all of you there, and I can just surf through and invite you to parties and make notes, and it's going to be great. I can't wait.
It's apparently hard to do.
Yeah, I don't. Blizzard, if you're listening, please don't put some stupid cap on the amount of people we can have in the clan.
Yeah. You hope.
Like,
I don't know. It blows my mind. I'm sure it's just it's a network. You're dealing with all these people and accounts and having to crisscross them. And I don't even know how to, a TV works in the first place. So who am I to tell you how? But you just made this incredible looking game. And then you go, well, can't we just make a little Facebook box over in the corner? And they go, oh man, that's hard. But your game is beautiful.
And it's one thing, like in WoW, like they have the thing is, it used to not be a cap in guilds in WoW. They used to be massive, and then they instituted a cap. And I'm in the AIE, which is a massive guild, so there's a bunch of different sub guilds. But that game has add-ons, so we still have a chat between all the guilds. I don't think Heroes is going to have that, so please don't put some weird artificial cap on the clan.
Yeah,
it's gonna suck. But anyways, for now, /join space A-Move TV in the chat there, everyone, and you'll join the A-Move TV chat channel. We look forward to playing games with you. I don't know why I went into my southern accent for that.
Well, you want to be inviting, Just come on down. Put your feet up. Have a lemonade.
Yes! Our brains are freaking linked.
Oh gosh, across the internet, across time, but now in the same room.
Yeah, we're gonna be very giddy tonight, guys. Strap in. PAX East is coming up tomorrow. It starts tomorrow. Woo! Yeah, and at 4:30 p.m. we're actually getting a Heroes of the Storm specific panel. I believe at 10 a.m. Eastern. We're getting the Blizzard panel, which is going to feature new stuff for Heroes, for Hearthstone, and for Overwatch. But at 4:30 p.m. we're gonna have a Heroes of the Storm specific panel, which is entitled New Look at Sylvanas and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now, not very catchy, but Sylvanas is totally going to be the next hero. I don't have to riot. All is right with the world.
Interesting that they said new look, because otherwise you put up Sylvanas, we go, oh, yeah, that was last year, guys, and then, oh no, Tomb of the Spider Queen, we saw that at BlizzCon, and so the new look at Sylvanas, which makes me think completely different than those little clips we've seen floating around.
Yeah. No, I'm just, I don't even want to speculate because we're gonna find out what it is tomorrow.
Fair enough.
So, screw it.
It's already almost here. Shut up.
Yeah. Like, what was this gonna go up as a podcast tomorrow, and everyone's just gonna hear our wrong thoughts? I'm not gonna do that to everyone.
Way to think forward.
I think her ultimate will summon an ice cream truck.
That would be Forsaken ice cream.
What flavor is Forsaken ice cream?
It's blueberry. Oh, actually, no. Wouldn't it be like mint chocolate chips? So like it's nice and kind of like off green.
No, well, it would have to be something that on its face seems like it would taste good, but then you eat it and it's terrible. So I'm thinking rhubarb.
Oh yeah, because you think so. At first, I'm like, oh.
You look at a rhubarb pie and you're like, that looks delicious, and you eat it and you're like, this was a lie.
Yeah.
I did not sign up for this.
I tell you what, I walked into a Cold Stone once and they offered me wasabi ice cream.
I've heard of that before. I've never had it.
Well, I don't like normal wasabi, so it was a nightmare.
Well, normal wasabi isn't actual wasabi. Like what? You go to a sushi place, yeah, it's like a mixture of some green food dye and that spicy mustard that comes in all the, and take out. No, because real wasabi is really hard to grow.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yep. I don't even think I've ever had real wasabi.
Liars.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. There's something else in it. It's not just green food coloring and the spicy mustard, but that spicy mustard is one of like the key ingredients.
Tomb of the Spider Queen, though.
Tomb of the Spider Queen. Yeah, very excited about that.
Ice cream flavor. Go.
Why are we assigning ice cream flavors to everything now? I was just making one passing joke about how wrong of that was the first wrong prediction I could think of, like the wrongest prediction.
Okay. Could happen in Hearthstone, though.
Yeah. Sorry. Again, I don't know why I'm bothering muting my mic, but I'm still kind of not well. I hope I don't get you sick, sir.
I'll be okay. I mean, I just survived Disney, so if there's kids sneezing all over every bar, I already touched it.
You might catch what was the
The Simpsons? Is
it
that what you're going for?
No. Recently there was it measles?
Oh, the outbreak in like the cities and stuff.
Yeah, it was at Disney.
Oh,
I think it was measles. No, it was
wow.
something that should not happen, but
Right, I thought you were wishing on me the Mr. Burns syndrome, where just all the sicknesses are going to get stuck in the door and I'll be fine.
Well, there you go. So I'm excited for PAX tomorrow.
It'll be interesting to see the Tomb of the Spider, because this is the last one we know about, other than maybe the Heaven vs. Hell map. But I highly doubt we're going to see that. So will we kind of see when beta's ending? All the maps are in?
Maybe. You know, I was playing some games last night with Scott Johnson, and we were, getting to chat and whatnot, which is always a treat. Scott's so busy, I very rarely have time to actually sit and chat with the man. And we were just kind of shooting the shit about Heroes of the Storm. And he brought up that question too. He was like, when do you think that this is no longer going to be in closed beta?
Yeah.
And I said that I don't think they're in any rush. I think they're going to do what Dota 2 is, because the game is now, for all intents and purposes, live.
Yeah.
You can buy in for $40.
Yeah.
There's no longer any barrier to entry other than money.
I mean,
yeah, chat room, call me a name dropper. I'll drop Scott Johnson's name anytime. He's a delightful man, and I love playing games with him.
Sure, why not? Well, when I was on Stormcast, Garrett, I made the prediction that it wasn't going to come out at all this year.
Dropping more? No, not at all.
No, I think we're going to sit
in a very long beta period.
Yeah, I think we're going to sit in hero limbo for a long time until we're getting over that 50 hero mark.
I think that's a good mark, or a good goal.
Yeah.
Although if it's 50 at the rate they're going, it's going to be longer than a year.
Right, but if you consider, how many Dota exploded on with the long history they had in the first place, Heroes is going pretty fast. And even in League of Legends terms, they're putting out things regularly. And I mean, right now, Dota's down to a hero a year, and I can think of 3 off the top of my head that are still to come from the original game.
Wow. Well,
I mean, this last year was the international techies, and we wait another year till another international to get whatever the next one is.
Yeah, but again, they have over 100 heroes. No rush.
Right, and the chat's guessing June, and then lots of people are thinking that because there's a big hole there. I want Legacy to avoid in that hole.
You heard it here first. Everyone, Kyle wants Void in his hole.
Void directly.
He wants a voided hole.
To the hole. It's my birthday month, after all.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. I really want I want more StarCraft. And damn it, I want to bring StarCast back.
Yeah.
I want to have more to talk about other than just GSL, which I love GSL, but
I cannot beat that final level. The Protoss level, still on Brutal. I finally got to the end. I'm still working on that. But man, Brutal Wings of Liberty is impossible.
Yeah. It's tough, man. It's really tough. Anyway, speaking of no barrier to entry, there's going to be even less of a barrier to entering Heroes of the Storm soon, because friend invites are coming to the game. Blizzard is going to be allowing some existing players of the Heroes of the Storm beta to invite a few of their friends to join the game. They say, quote, a number of players will receive an email containing 4 Heroes of the Storm beta keys, which they can give out to their friends. And they also say, keep in mind that initially we are going to be sending these keys out to a small group of playtesters. And then if everything goes smoothly with the trial run, they're going to expand the program.
I assume this isn't a technical trial run as much as a do not sell these on eBay trial run?
Yeah.
I mean, they have a set value.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. If it's, people can start to sell them off for 20, but do you even really care at that point?
Right, and then you get the skins and the 3 heroes. If you're going to buy in, you might as well do the Founders Pack.
Yeah.
Either way, they're clearly expanding, which is a good sign.
Yep. Yeah, no, if I wasn't already in the game, I would have bought in without even blinking.
Well, yeah. But that's because we're super Blizzard nerds, so...
Yeah.
It just would have happened anyway.
Someone right now is going, wait, this is a biased opinion? I'm done with this show.
No. They want the game to be good. How dare they?
They also said that keep in mind we will not be replacing our existing closed beta invite waves. They will still be sending out those regularly. So if you just want to wait until you get in for free, or you're not particularly friendly with your friends that are already in, you'll be all set.
Perfect.
If you want to check out the show notes, which if you're watching live aren't up yet, but they will be up tomorrow, or if you're listening to this on podcast over at amove.tv/ITN, there is some small news this week, which we have links to. You can check out the Diablo Facebook post. There's some new Skeleton King art from Simon Bisley. The Direwolf and Cyberwolf are leaving the store, and the Magic Carpet and Tiger Mount, which I want so damn bad I can taste it, and apparently Tiger tastes very good, are coming to the store very soon.
I'm still reeling from the tiger taste.
I've never eaten. Disclaimer, Garrett's never eaten tiger. He does anything for a cheap laugh.
The Diablo one people are freaking out about. We have it in here because people are thinking this might be part of the announcement for the Skeleton King. But we're about to see Sylvanas, so we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Maybe, but they also just do fan art all the time.
Yeah. And it's from a fancy comic book artist too.
Maybe he's just a big Diablo fan.
Yeah. Could have happened.
Who knows?
And then that sweet Zeratul armor is finally in the shop too. Along with the, Jaina Regalia, which is nice.
I actually really like the Tempest Regalia for Jaina. I'm going to buy that as soon as it's on sale.
Really? You're not the big, I don't see you playing Jaina a lot.
Oh, I just haven't had a chance, but I do like her.
It's an odd hole to fill.
You and your holes today.
I'm sorry.
Stop making hole jokes.
There's all these voids, and I want them filled.
All right, we're going to mention Dungeons and Dragons just so you can mention...
Holes?
Portable hole?
Oh, the portable holes. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Come on, man.
I've never actually DM'd with a portable hole.
Well, heard it here first. Before we get into this week's strategy discussion, we do want to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/ITN. If you listened last week, you heard that we hit our $500 goal, and we'll be doing after-show games every single week that there is a show. Some folks have asked if we'll be doing games when there isn't a show, and not planned games anyway. So the planned games are after the live broadcast of Into the Nexus every Thursday night at 8 p.m., unless I'm so sick I can't do it, which luckily this week I started feeling good enough to do the show. So, or Kyle, if you're sick,
Oh, thank you.
I'm not going to sit here and do a show alone.
String me up, drag me out.
Yeah, just put you on strings, just be like, hi.
That's all
I'm
just
Kyle
smoke and
Ferguson.
mirrors, really. I mean, the real problem is I don't have my voice effects tonight now that I'm here with you that make my voice all deep and sultry.
Your voice is still coming across pretty nicely. I mean...
And my digital face to make me look more handsome.
Yeah, Omni Prime in the chat room. Tonight's drinking word is holes. But if you want to support us and support the show if you enjoy it, head over to patreon.com/ITN and subscribe for whatever amount you see fit. If you can't afford it or you don't want to back it, that's fine too. Thanks for listening. Just tell your friends. That's a good free way to help the show. But this week we do have the following patrons to thank. Thank you to Piotr G. I apologize for probably butchering your name.
Well, it's his fault for having a T followed by an R.
Yeah, I want to buy a vowel between the T and the R. Anyways, also thanks to Austin M. and Christopher T. Thank you all so much for your support of Into the Nexus. We really appreciate it. Now, onwards and upwards to strategies.
Choose a talent.
Choose a talent!
Talent? Ah, that seems generous.
Impressive work, hero. I think you're ready for more.
Welcome to Strategies this week, and we came with a kind of a common theme based on a couple of emails that we got. So we're going to start with this first one from James, and by the way, if you want to send us an email, you can do so to itncast@gmail.com. James wrote in and he said, so I was playing a quick match and another player on my team said that we don't team fight until we're level 10 and that we soak XP until level 10. So my question is that typically done in other MOBAs? I understand that Heroes is trying to be different from other MOBAs. Also, I was surprised by by his idea and told him I don't think that's how we play this game. Am I wrong or is he?
I'm curious to know if you were on Cursed Hollow in the first place, because this is really where they get angry about it. And it's because you can miss a couple. The skulls, they're so important. The first one could decide the whole game. And the temples, I think with time, maybe we might even see on Sky Temple people kind of skipping out just to see if they push real hard, they can make up for the damage that would happen otherwise.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a loaded question, because I mean the rule of thumb is that's actually a pretty good way to play the game.
Yeah, soaking. It's the thing you do when there is nothing else to do. The objectives are down. You've got all the merc later in the game, of course, early game. It's all just soaking. Sitting in the lane, making sure people are spread out and getting as much XP as possible. And it puts you ahead. It's the reason the Lost Vikings right now are really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, but the thing is like it's not black and white. There's intricacies to it, and it also can depend on the map. So I guess let's kind of break that down. The first thing that comes to my mind about why it's not always true is assassins who should be roaming. So you have your, if you're playing like a Nova or a Zeratul, you shouldn't be laning because you're a paper-made piece of crap that's going to die if anyone sees you.
Yeah.
And you're better served drifting between lanes with your cloak on, looking for somebody to pick off. Now, that doesn't mean the other 4 members of the team shouldn't be spread out evenly between the lanes and soaking XP.
I feel like one of the other problems with this strategy is that it's great to get to 10 first, but most people who are really insistent upon it don't have a plan once you get there. And if you actually are all talking together and it is you're on Cursed Hollow, you skip the first 2 just to make sure you're in lane getting maximum XP, and boom, you hit 10 and you're half level before they get there. You gotta act the second that happens.
Yeah. And then I mentioned maps. And, like, for example, Haunted Mines. It's 2 lanes. The 4-1 split is very common and just kind of naturally causes early game team fights.
Yeah.
They're going to happen. You shouldn't, if there's a team fight going on, you shouldn't just ignore it because, the guy told me not to soak, I guess I better not help my teammate. No, go help them. Heal them up if you're a support,
Right, and, James here can go home with that fact that, yes, the guy was right, but the fact that he didn't contribute when everyone was team fighting anyway makes him wrong. Because in a team link game like this, you just got to go with the flow.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, again, we both pub a lot. We don't always do pre-made groups. And just committing to whatever the plan may be, even if it's not the best plan, is usually better than everyone just kind of being like, I'm not going to do what they're doing because I think this is the better way to play. If you're not helping the team, you're losing.
We learned a lot of that playing StarCraft, though. Because you would watch those pro players get kind of flustered, and they'd run away with the Marines. And granted, all the Marines were dead in the first place, but if they turned around, they might have killed a couple things and been better off than just floundering, running back and forth.
Yep.
Happens with Zerglings a lot, too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's nothing worse than watching like the tail end of your train of Zerglings just die.
Right, because you run into tank lanes and then you go, forward, back, what do I... And, you just need to commit. Either way, run at them or retreat. The dancing killed you.
Yep. Dancing kills, folks.
It does, unless you're winning really hard, like we were last week, and then dancing is perfectly acceptable.
See the cover image for episode 40 of Into the Nexus.
I'm so happy you did that.
You're welcome. The replay feature is awful.
It is so slow.
It took me the entire length of that game to get that screenshot.
Yeah, I just wanted to see the end of a Black Card Bay, and it was a 30-minute game, and, well, that's a 30-minute wait.
Yep. Pretty well. It's faster than that, but not much. Not much at all. But yeah, really, it's just you want to make sure someone's in every lane. It's kind of the bottom line in the early game, because the second you will notice if one of your teammates is out of lane and one of the enemy teammates is in lane, you will just watch those XP bars just get further and further apart. And that's why soaking is so important. But it's not, like I said, not as black and white as this guy made it seem.
Right, and it definitely, on all maps, you can pretty much say, someone in lane, it's going to help you win until the first event, whatever it may be for the map. And after that, events are really important about, after level 10, if you're winning and you're pushing out, there's nothing to soak because you're getting too close to their towers, you're exposing yourself to a gang, then you go get mercenaries, and you get, all the mercenaries are taken. We're pushed too far. There's this weird part that can happen in games because of the catch-up mechanic where you're just kind of stuck with nothing to do, and that's just kind of the way things are at the moment.
It's like the game telling you, you're too good.
It is. It's the Mario Kart thing. You're getting nothing but bananas. And you're not going to win with bananas when the whole back team has lightning bolts and shells.
Well, actually, you are, because you can hold them behind your cart and protect yourself from shells.
Not against the blue shells, though. Those come right for you and blow up all big.
Well, the blue shells are just bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. And so are the lightning bolts on Wario Stadium.
Oh, God. Oh, I forgot about that. You're taking me back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you're absolutely right. Also this week, listener Run Neo Run, who is almost always in the chat room, he's in here tonight. Hello, sir. Wrote in and said, "Thanks for the fantastic podcast. We all know the importance the map objectives play in the potential victory, but I was wondering if you could prioritize the other map priorities, i.e. laning, mercenary camps, bosses, etc. I understand this will vary from map to map, early versus late game, and possibly even team comp. So any pointers you might give as to when to switch from one priority to other in relationship to the map objective would be appreciated. Thanks in advance if you select this email to read." Well, you're welcome.
Well read. Sing-songy.
Sorry, what?
Oh, you had a lovely tune throughout that entire email.
Yeah, I try. Yeah.
What?
Been studying up on hosts I enjoy and see how they read canned stuff from
Oh,
people.
really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I'm watching a lot of Jon Stewart, taking notes.
Oh, if there's one thing I've learned, there is no natural talent. It's people who practice really hard.
Well, we had Frodan on Angry Chicken
Yeah.
a few weeks ago. Last week, actually. It feels like forever ago because we skipped an episode this week because I was sick. But and we asked him the same thing. We're like, you're really good at what you do. Did you do any training? And he was like, "Oh no, I just kind of." He's like, "I talk to myself a lot." He said he kind of watches hosts that he likes, and
Gotcha.
yeah, it was cool. Everyone should go listen to that. Even if you're not super into Hearthstone, it was a good interview. But
Well, and I've been doing art lessons, teaching myself to draw, and that's something that you think people just kind of are good at from birth, but no, they are looking. If they're drawing crabs, they're looking at pictures of crabs all day long from every angle, and they're color swatching them, and it's a madhouse.
there is no such thing in this world as talent, everyone. It's practice.
Yes, there is no game that is more practice based than a MOBA. Holy heck!
Yeah. Now to address Run Neo Run's question, where would you start with this? Because this is a hell of a loaded question.
So what to prioritize first? Well, you come out of the box, and you got to get in lane. Hands down.
Well, absolutely. I mean, and then it's going to, it shifts depending on the battleground. I mean, do we really want to go battleground by battleground?
Yeah,
or-
well, I think that's the best way to handle it here.
All right, well, let's start Sky Temple.
Cool.
Let's go with that. Laning phase, and then, so many of these are dictated very harshly by the objective.
Right, and that's what they want here. They want to encourage team fights and not have all these different, the forest phase and the laning phase and the farming phase when you're not quite ready to win, but you won anyway. Sky Temple is an interesting one because the temples are always the same. Top two, then bottom one.
Yes. Yeah. So when you're picking your lanes, usually you'll go 2 top, 2 mid, and 1 bottom.
Yeah. So that one person who's going to be a little late, and granted, if you got someone like a Brightwing or a Falstad, bottom.
They go bottom. Absolutely. Yeah. Anyone who can teleport or fly across the map like those two can. And yeah, that whole map is really just dictated by the temples. And once the temples are over, if you won them, and especially if someone on the opposing team, if you got a kill off, it is Merc time, baby.
There is a lot of talk going around right now about Sky Temple, and if you don't control it in the first couple seconds, just diving enemy forts. Because they're all occupied holding the thing. Depending on what heroes you have, there are a couple like Stitches, etc., who can just solo even Raynor, can solo one of those temples all day long, regardless of the damage they put out, and they'll just live long enough that it doesn't really matter if they kill the Guardians in the first place. So people are thinking, well, maybe, if we get there, it's busy, it's occupied. We just run and take whatever we can and make up for it.
Yeah, no, that's very true, and it's a perfectly good strategy. Now, if it's the thing is, when you get into pre-made versus pre-made, they're going to react.
Right.
They're going to be like, all right, everyone, defend top, or whatever. But and then all of a sudden you're at a disadvantage because the team that doesn't have the temple are going to have at least one more hero than you will.
Yeah.
So it is something you have to be careful of. You have to have really good map awareness.
Sky Temple doesn't quite have a rhythm for mercs yet.
No, like I said, for me in the games that we play, it's all about, well, temples come first. After the temples, okay, do we have a kill? Let's rush the boss first, the boss merc, and then we just, go for whichever ones are safe. If we have a lot of kills off, then we go for the mercs on our opponent's side.
It's pretty easy to, on other maps like, what's the one I'm thinking? Cursed Hollow, where there's two bosses, and you kind of go, the whole team's missing. They're not at our boss. They must be at ours. Let's do ours real quick. You can kind of theorize where people are hiding out. But Sky Temple, man, if there's one place a game can completely turn around, it's that boss at the bottom. And you can throw games yeah.
That boss is very powerful.
I speak from experience here, and I've been the one to ping it before and ruin my team.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to have people dead, which means you have to be above level 13, because otherwise the timer's too short. So Sky Temple,
you're right.
basically, soak, temple, soak, and then after level 13, you can start taking care of mercs and boss.
Yeah. Well, you can definitely do your own mercs before level 13, but boss is a bit risky.
Yeah. Garden Terror.
Yeah, Garden of Terror. The one I'm really sick of seeing.
So many people are. I don't know if, we always theorize that they turn these things up for test weeks, but it is the least modified since release. Other than Sky Temple, of course, which,
Well, yeah, it's just new.
It's fresh.
No, Garden of Terror, I always joke with Ben that this is the Mad Hatter's battleground because it's just like screaming, change places every 2 seconds. You just kind of have to go where the map tells you to go. If
you feel like you just get settled in. I'm back in lane, finally.
Yeah, Garden of Terror really is like, if it's night, you get seeds. If you have 100 seeds, you start yelling at each other, seeing who's going to go get the terror.
And you have to, because again and again, we talked about this last week, but damn it happened again. People just let it die.
Yep. If you have the terror and the other team does not, you either support your terror or you split push.
Mm-hmm.
If the opposing team has a terror and you do not, you want to defend against that terror and possibly a split push.
Yeah, it's all seeds.
Yeah.
Is what it comes down to. And when you get the Garden Terror, the mercenaries go away. There is that brief moment where if you're currently engaged with a mercenary when the terror is grabbed, you can continue to kill it off.
You can just tag it right before night starts.
Right, but there's no natural progression of, now's the time we get mercs, go.
Yeah, that whole game is just dictated by the terror and the seeds.
Yep.
It's all about that. And then like team fights just I mean, you can predict it if you're map aware. If you see like what terror they're at, the terrors that you kill, the giants, the garden terrors that you kill for seeds, not the ones you control. You can basically, if you're taking one and they're not, you can assume they're taking the other one. Yeah, and then it's
And you get yours done early. You run up there, try to get some kills off, and you're not losing seeds. You're not going to drop them when you die.
Yeah.
So it ends up working out in that situation.
Yeah.
But there's very little time to soak in that map.
So Blackheart's Bay used to be my most hated map. I've come around on it. I've softened on it.
Yeah, it's weird.
We've had some really good. I can't argue with the fact that we've had some phenomenal games.
Yeah, and that's definitely changed my opinion. The back and forth of it. But what people need to realize about that one is it is almost entirely hero kill based, but not in a let's chase each other down sort of way. It's tentative. No,
it feels. I mean, we've mentioned it before. It feels a lot like an arena fight because the majority of the fighting happens around the coin hand in. You're going to have secondary fights happening around the golem boss at top.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's always a hockey, and that's another thing. This seems a little frantic because if the chests are up, you need to get the chests. If the chests aren't up, and there's coins that haven't been turned in, you have to defend or offend the hand in.
Well said.
And then if none of that's going on, you just kind of look around and it's just like, can we go boss? Let's go boss.
Right, and that's entirely coin based. So you have coins, you're playing defensively, you try to turn them in. Other people try to zone out. You have your tank all the way up front. Anyone who can take a couple hits, making sure you can get those hand-ins done. The chests are complete chaos. There is no night comes in 30 seconds. They're just, the pirates speak, and here's the chest, and get them. And if those two things, if you don't have enough coins to turn in or the chests aren't happening, there's almost no soak. You just get the little tiny skeleton mercs for coins. You go get your own mercs. If you've grouped up enough, you take the boss or you take the knights at bottom.
Yep.
It's sad, too, on a hero you really love playing and you get in a quick match, and you really are just gung-ho on getting all those orbs, and it's not happening. There are no orbs to get on Blackheart's Bay.
No, it doesn't happen. Conjurer's Pursuit on my Uther, it just seems like it's wasted.
No. And the other talents on Uther, level 1, aren't too hot.
No, they're really not. It's just kind of like, I guess I'll take this for some incidental mana regen. But
I mean, there's a couple of heroes that I get excited about. I'm like, oh, like playing Diablo. There's, your level 7 talent is increase all the healing done to you. And when I don't have a healer, I'm like, all right.
I get to stretch out.
I get to take
new things.
Exactly. Take all these damage talents. Whoa, look at me.
Yeah.
Dragonshire.
Best map in the game.
Yeah, I think we can agree. Yeah. We have agreed in the
No,
past.
it's a fact. There's nothing to agree on.
Gotcha. This one has a bit of a Merc rhythm, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the dragon goes down, you are most likely ahead. And if you are way ahead and other people are dead, you take their mercs.
Yep.
Then you go back and get your knights. Then you swing all the way down to the bottom and get those knights. There's a lot of knights on that. Or, excuse me, bruisers. I'm so sorry.
They will forever be known as...
I am sorry, chat.
They'll be known as... They're knights.
I
Bruiser just sounds dumb. Like...
Yeah, but I get it.
It sounds like the henchman of some second-rate Batman villain.
The Bruiser.
You will face my bruisers, Batman!
Yeah. Throwaways is what that makes it sound like. But they did, in Sky Temple, they're not really knights. They're genies with a caster in the back.
Yeah. They're genius. They look like the fat villains from the first 3D Prince of Persia.
Yeah, you're right. And you had to do the front flip over them and stab them in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good game.
They're like sand abominations.
Yes, sand abominations. Well said.
We both have a very fond love of the first 3D Prince of Persia.
It was, it changed so much.
Who made that? Ubisoft?
Yeah, it was Ubisoft. Yeah. And it was one of the first games ever to have like a romance that actually kind of worked.
Yeah.
That wasn't complete cheeseball for the entire thing or just shoehorned in.
Yeah, I cared about those two characters.
Right, and he was witty, and now you get to hear his voice in Diablo, and that's always fun.
Yeah. Oh, man, taking me back. But yeah, Dragonshire's got a great rhythm. Again, just like everything else, dictated by the map objective. If shrines are up, you need to defend shrines. If you don't have the shrines, someone needs to defend mid. If people have just recently died and you don't have either shrine, you guys just need to mad scramble and get mid. If you've got a Tyrande, you're throwing sentinels there like a crazy person.
Well, and that's its own thing, talking about Dragonshire. Right now it is very much 2 top, 2 bottom, and 1 mid. And if you abandon that mid, you are throwing your team away. And no matter what, the top struggling as hard as they can. You have bottom, so that's safe. So you think as the middle guy, you're going to go up top and you're going to save the day. And it's a bad decision.
No.
Regardless of what's going on, you're soaking. You're getting XP for your team there. Usually if you're fighting on the shrine up top, you're in pseudo range of getting some XP as you run away and run back in there. But mid contributes a lot just by hanging out.
Yeah. Haunted Mines.
This one has the biggest merc
The
rhythm.
2-lane slugfest.
I mean, you fight in lane, you soak.
Yep.
Until the mines open.
Yep.
You run into the mines.
Yep.
For the most part, everybody runs towards the left in the mines because that very center bit and those couple, it's pretty much the biggest proximity.
It's easy to move between those two, the leftmost lanes, because of the break in the center. If if one of your friends gets caught by someone else, you can go assist them quickly. If you go for that top right or that top left, you're kind of on your own.
Yeah.
And usually you'll send a stealthy that way to get it, because there's a lot of skulls on those guys. And that seems to make the difference. I've noticed, that top right and that top left chunk seems to make the tilt it in your favor.
Definitely, but the fights always happen in the middle there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then mines end, and if basically, and this is just kind of the rhythm that's naturally evolved. I don't think anyone's ever really sat down and decided, here's how we're playing Haunted Mines. It's just if you lose and you don't get any skulls, you go for the middle knights, bruisers. You run at them, and if you win completely, you go upstairs and you go for the knights. And after that, you go and you get Your ogres.
Yeah,
your
you
giants.
you leave your siege giants up because when the haunted giants spawn, the grave golems, your giants will defend it for you. And again, everybody, if you're in a pub game with me and you see me attacking the giants and the grave golem isn't at our wall yet, don't cap the siege giants.
We will. We're not hanging back because we're idiots. It's because they actually do walk out in the lane and attack the moving thing. And
They'll
they
help
will
you defend.
And regardless of when you get it, they do attack, and they often do follow you back, but then they're out in the lane.
They're
and
taking damage.
And if any hero comes along and just destroys them,
Yep.
then it's all that lost
Yeah,
damage.
the beautiful, you wait until it's close, and then you cap them so that they're behind your wall the entire time. Hopefully you can kill the golem before it even breaks the wall, and then you have 2 full health siege giants to counter push that lane.
And then level 13, again, before level 13, don't try it. Level 13, you get some people dead, you go take their giants.
Yep.
Take it from them. It's awesome.
Yep.
Feels good.
And if one person can kind of get ahead of the pack and take their sight tower before the whole group comes,
yeah.
that's like the perfect freaking storm.
Again, I think that's just something from playing a lot of StarCraft and having to be aware of Xel'Naga watchtowers and creep especially. But when I see people just one at a time filing across a sight tower that they don't have yet, I'm like, oh no, like the Nova was going there to get it. Just stop. Or walking on creep when you could have walked around. It drives me insane.
Can I just say that I love the narrative that the chat room is constructing about us podcasting together? They're asking whose houses are they recording in, and Searanex said, "Oh well, they actually broke into a stormtrooper's house,
I
it was just really convenient that stormtrooper had a great podcasting setup."
Had 2 mics ready to go. Stormtroopers known for. I mean, what do you think Han Solo was doing on that little mic there? That was the broadcast room.
We're fine. Everything's fine.
No
How are you?
Yeah, no prisoners, just guests waiting their turn.
I didn't want to talk anyway. Luke, hurry up. We're gonna have company. I just had to get through that whole quote.
Of course.
Otherwise, that was going to be the end of me. Finally, Cursed Hollow. Again, kind of a drop everything map.
Yeah.
The first tribute, not the most important in the world. If it spawns in a bad place, like if for whatever reason, say your team has a roamer, like a Zeratul or whatever, and more of your team is on the other end of the map because there was a good gank set up, you can kind of just let that first tribute go.
But there is that problem where let's say you're in bottom lane, and the tribute spawns top, and you're against a Sergeant Hammer who is just not moving. He is in siege mode, just hammering on your wall. You've been the one defending against him the entire time, and you're Tyrande, you're putting stuns on him, and you're doing a great job against him, keeping it back, keeping him scared. Regardless of how well you're doing against a lane, you gotta go. There's always the chance that you're gonna show up, someone else won't be there, it'll be a 5 versus 4, and you win. So either everyone commits or no one goes. There isn't an in between.
Yeah, that's the thing. If especially like you're the lone guy at bottom, if you're solo laning bottom and you see mid leave, you're just like, shit, I gotta go.
Well, and you could have 2 people down there, like pushing your lane, a Zagara and a Hammer, just blowing away everything. You gotta go. The alarm is set.
Yeah, and granted, a lot of what we talked about just now has been kind of because we're really pickup game players.
Yeah,
and that kind of works there. If you're in a pre-made, tell your buddies, hey, bottom's getting sacked. I'm going to stay down here because there's 2 of them. You 4 go for it. It's going to be 4v3 and we're good anyway.
Right, and in that case, anytime you can throw those things in your favor, and abandoning the first one isn't the worst thing on earth, but I feel like it sets a bad rhythm for the game.
Yeah,
particularly in pickup.
I'll give you that.
You don't have that first encounter together where you start learning who's going to play what style. Is our Jaina more of a stick back and hit good blizzards, or is she one of those in the fray shooting the ice bolts kind of player?
Yeah, I'm not. Good point. Well put, sir.
Yeah.
Any other comments on Cursed Hollow? Because, I mean, also, like the Merc rhythm on Cursed Hollow. What do you think?
That's another tough one. And level 13, that's when the bosses start. But other than that, I feel like you take your top ogres and, if you're on the right side of the map, bottom ogres pretty early. And if the tribute spawns up top, it's real natural to just back up, grab your watchtower there on your way straight to the giants. Knights, I feel like I've gone some games without anyone getting knights if we don't have a specialist to kind of power through them.
You can, because it can, if depending on how the tribute pops are going, and if the curse is in your favor, you might just really never have the time.
Yeah.
That being said, I have picked up some of the enemy knights on the way out of their base that I just wrecked after a curse.
But Curse Hall, it's important to note that as soon as the curse is taken and over, you gotta just boom. That's the soak time, and everyone has to go back to their lanes, regardless of how far from bottom you may be. And you know that's your lane, but you don't really want to go because you might be able to get some sweet comment. It doesn't matter. Soaking is a big deal.
Yep. So, well, thank you for your emails, everyone. And again, if you want to send in emails, either for the email section, for the wish list section, or to suggest a strategy that you would like to hear on the show, itncast@gmail.com. Now, let's finish the show off with wish list.
For ire!
The guilty will suffer.
Is there something amiss?
All the tribe!
Hasten my blade!
None survive. Must hunt you face to Nexus.
At least I have chicken.
I love that freaking bumper so much, and I know you can't hear it right now because
Well, I made it, so I.
it's in your head.
Yeah.
At least I have chicken.
Exactly.
There you go. Now you heard it.
A hero we all want.
The best part. Oh, I want Leroy Jenkins in the best way. He has to have the best after death talent.
I do hope that he at some point he has to spawn a ton of baby dragons to chase him.
Yes, whelps. He is the whelp master.
I hope that it's his boost ability.
What if he throws clusters of eggs, and if people hit them, it spawns?
That could be interesting. That'd be an interesting take on it, since they're not his eggs to do with. I prefer that he was more like Lost Vikings, where he doesn't really have a mount. It's more that you press the button and then you take damage over time from all the whelps that chase you.
I don't know about that. This just sounds like it would suck.
That's your rush mechanic. Well, maybe you have some heal, some hit on heal.
Yeah. Anyways, if you're not familiar with Wishlist, we started it last week, and that's where you, the listener, can send in what you would like to see added to Heroes of the Storm, and we discuss it and usually probably joke a lot about it. Our Wishlist submission this week comes to us from Searanex, who is in the chat room tonight. Hello, Searanex. He said, I, for one, think Ben Brode would be an awesome character, and he is a named NPC in WoW, which gives him even more validity as a hero choice. I envision him as a ranged specialist with a Gambit-inspired card throw basic attack. An idea for his passive trait could be Card Master. Ben does not use mana, but instead has 5 cards. Each basic ability consumes 1 card. I like that. Some suggestions for basic abilities would be Table Flip. Summon a table that stuns enemies hit, then flip the table a short distance, damaging enemies hit. Crack a pack, replenish all cards and buff Ben's next basic attack with the rare card from the pack.
I'd love that. It's like Chen's drinking, but instead he just stands there and then it goes, oh, golden common. Epic.
Oh, what if it was a random element, or if he cracks in the crack a pack, he finds a legendary and his buff is bigger?
Yeah, exactly.
It's RNG in the Ben Brode hero. Oh my god, you're blowing my mind right now. He also, the other one he wants to have him have is Infectious Laugh, which I'm assuming would sound like this. Ben channels his laugh, causing the target enemy to laugh with him, preventing the enemy from attacking and using abilities. His options for heroics would be the Ban Hammer, remove target enemy from the game for 5 seconds, and Nerf Bat, reduce the target's enemy attack damage, attack speed, and movement speed, and increase damage against the target by a percentage. What do you guys think? Great show, keep rocking. Oh my god, I just want this in game now.
Yeah,
right now. I just want Ben Brode in there in his plaid shirt. You guys could model it after this one if you want.
Right, I mean, for me, he's always got the orc mask on because I'm a horde player.
That would be one of his skins.
Yeah, exactly, one of the
just
the
orc
skins.
mask. Oh my god.
I mean, either way, we need the innkeeper, and he's voiced by Ben Brode, all the better. Or at least a skin for him.
I don't think the innkeeper is voiced by Ben Brode.
Oh no, I'm saying just avoid the whole dwarf thing and just make it Ben.
Oh, okay. So you could add the innkeeper, give him this kit, and then have a Ben Brode skin.
Sure, because Tyrande doesn't sound any different when you put a night elf skin on her.
That's very true.
See, the first thing I thought of here was Legion Commander from Dota, and she has a cool ultimate ability where you run up and it goes duel above their heads, and you gung 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 and just wail on each other with basic attacks. How awesome would it be if you did exactly that? A table thunk landed between you two, and the two just exchange basic attacks through the guise of playing cards.
So basically, whoever has the highest health wins.
Well, and whoever has, great attack damage, someone like Illidan would be a horrible person because he's healing himself as he basic attacks.
But if like you do it on their support or something.
Exactly. They're locked down, you're locked down, but also other people can wail on them or interrupt.
Yeah. Oh my god! First of all, this is exactly the kind of email I want to see. Like Searanex did such a good job of breaking this down. Like
exactly
the abilities he wants to see, the heroics, like the flavor. It's also Hearthstone themed, so I'm a bit biased.
Sure, of course.
But
I like his passive trait though. Chen's drinking ability, cracking packs, getting some sort of buff. There have to be some sort of either a channeling time that would take you out of game like Chen's does. Or I don't know. We have a hero like Lost Vikings who's, breaking the mold of 3 playable heroes in one. What if the Hearthstone hero was the only one that you actually had an income? A gold.
Oh.
So as you destroyed things, it basically...
Oh, yeah, because Gazlo picks up, like, the spare parts.
Exactly.
And,
so
reloads.
as you pick up globes, you get gold, and you spend those to get your packs, and that's how you upgrade yourself.
Oh, my God. I'm so in on this. Heroes developers, if you're listening, please wish list
that, or just take Ben Brode, infectious laughter, make it an ETC skin, lands in the middle, just throws his head back, everyone's stunned, having a good laugh.
Yeah, it would sound like this.
Exactly.
Oh man, and if you feel like you're leaving devs out, man, just keep adding skins for the other devs. Get a Yongwu one in there. Get a Dustin. Well, Dustin Brode wouldn't really make sense for Hearthstone.
Exactly. Add the mule character and make him David Kim.
Oh my god.
Well, I guess we have mules, as a trait at the moment, so.
SCV.
There we go.
Done.
Yep.
Absolutely done. Dustin Brode could come in looking like his Goliath self on the mercenary that you can hire in Wing Celebrity campaign.
Just looking at that thing.
Be some wonderful stuff, dude. Searanex, thank you so much for writing in. Again, send your what you would like added to the game to the wish list over at itncast@gmail.com. Kyle. I think it's going to do it for tonight's episode.
All right.
And it was a little short. I thought we'd pal around a lot, but I'm like trying so hard not to cough, sneeze, and phlegm into the microphone that I think that's where we'll end it.
Fair enough. Well, I'm sorry you're not feeling well, but it was fun being here. I'm glad.
It was fun. It was.
We're so worried about, what's the logistics of it. I don't have my own mouse and keyboard to look at the news, and, I've never seen you press all these buttons and do all this stuff in the background.
And it's even more dramatic from this awkward angle I'm sitting at.
Yeah, because you really have to,
it's like I'm
reach
flying
across.
a Gundam. I'm just like, you're powering up Wing Zero, and here we go.
They did have keyboards, didn't they?
They had keyboards in the center, and they had what was it? Mech Warrior freaking setups.
Yeah.
The double joysticks.
I just plug it into my brain. That's easier.
Well, I don't know. I always really liked that because there was I forget that weird Gundam one where they stood in a virtual reality room in the center of it, and they actually threw and I thought that was stupid. I was like, no, I wanted like a
if well
military.
done, it can be kind of cool.
No, it's dumb. It's dumb. I want
on the little holoplate. You thought the ending of the Korra with the giant robot, her doing that in the middle?
Well, no, because that used bending in a really innovative way and was awesome. The Gundam one was just like those shitty virtual reality things they had at state fairs
enough.
when we were kids.
Yeah, fair enough. At least in the Korra one, you knew that she was damn powerful, busting out that standing there.
Yeah,
had a lot more to do with her than her.
And then
interface.
when the fight scene that happens in there between her and Korra.
And they're just trashing
when
it.
she takes the space metal out of they were the orbs. When they did that, I didn't realize what the orbs were made out of, and when I realized it was that space metal from earlier in the series, I was just like mind blown. You guys are brilliant at conceiving these things.
Nice reference, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to tie things back. That's how you make a good story.
Oh, dude, the series is so good. If you guys have not watched Korra, go watch Korra. I believe the whole thing's up on Nick.com for free.
Is it now?
Good. Yeah,
Good.
the entire series, season, book 1 through 4.
I gotta get caught up on Star Wars Rebels. I missed that.
Dude, the finale of season 1. So good. So damn good. One of my favorite characters is back.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's right. With the things and the hair things.
Oh, was it spoiled for you?
What? No, but she's on the cover art. If you look up, their original announcement, it's what's his face with an eye patch, Darth Vader ooh in the background, and then Girly in the front. It was one of the arts that circulated when they first announced.
First announced the series?
Yeah.
No.
Of Rebels.
No, it was not.
Well, it's the art I saw. Maybe it was like fan made, but either way,
It had to be fan made
100% real
because they've
so far.
had the voice actress under lock and key until 2 days ago.
Well, other than when she showed up in a robe in the one part.
Well, right, but her voice is modulated.
Yeah, well, I knew it was her.
Okay, well, it's been.
I mean,
spoiled
the
for you.
show was so well written, Clone Wars, and then they're just like, and then we forget about a character for no reason. It's like, no, you're not done with her.
Yeah, well,
She's
I don't
coming
know.
back.
Well, I mean, there's so many questions about that when Rebels was announced. Like, well, we're gonna get Clone Wars characters. I'm like, no, this is about the new characters. It's all about the new characters.
Gotcha. I just assumed.
And I bought it.
I assumed they were liars.
Yeah, no.
And I was
Yeah,
right.
because the voice actress, like, she, I forget her name, but she like put out a tweet. She's like, oh my god, I'm so glad I can talk about this now.
That's gotta be hard.
Yeah.
Particularly when it's years out. Like some of these guys, like, oh man, like Tychus. Well,
Neil Kaplan.
Neil Kaplan, yeah, 2 BlizzCons ago. People were like, is Tychus dead? And he's like, knowing that he had done the infested Tychus skin for Heroes now, and he's like, you didn't see a body, did you?
Neil Kaplan is a great man. I don't even remember what episode of StarCast we had him on, but
Was that 50? I think
Was it
Yeah, I think
50?
it was a celebratory thing.
Ah.
I mean, I'm wasting my visit here on episode 41. In 9 episodes, we're gonna have to come up with something better than this.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll score a dev interview or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they like whole numbers.
Oh man, we should just get Neil Kaplan come back. Like,
Maybe
have him come back on.
He was the voice of the Reaper unit. Maybe he got tapped to do something in Hearthstone or something.
Well, he
He's
did
still working.
Tychus for Heroes, so
That's true.
We don't really need a reason.
Several years ago,
We
probably
have one
been out,
already.
but
Well, yeah,
I'm sure he loves that character.
he does. Like that's the thing I loved about Neil Kaplan. Him and Robert Clotworthy. We
Yeah.
talked to both of them, and both of them are very cool. Like they're very down with the fandom, and you can tell that they're fans themselves.
Yeah.
And that's the fun part because you and I are both big voice actor nerds. So
Yeah, well, it's a tight community, and it's always cool to see who's hiding in what movies.
yeah, what's his name that does Spike in Cowboy Bebop? The English
Everywhere.
version. He is every stormtrooper in Rebels, pretty
Yep.
much.
Fighting himself as what is this alien? The purple monkey thing?
Oh God, I forget his name. He's
Yeah.
also some species that's like he's the last
Super
of his
duper
kind.
rare and-
Like it's not a species I'm familiar with. If it's not like a Wookiee or an Ewok,
Yeah, or
a
Rodian or
Jawa
something,
or
yeah.
a Rodian, or oh God, what is Bosk? A Trandoshan? I don't know.
Oh yeah, Train
That's-
are nice.
Yeah, I had to think about him. Like the
Trash Can Man is what I
read. Trash Can Man?
Well, that's what I thought it said the first time I read it. It's like trash can. All right, yeah,
No, Trandoshans, man. Apparently they're very smelly, incredibly lethal.
I believe it.
They're basically like the Predator, like the Predator from the movie Predator. It's like
Oh yeah, they do have that whole hunting.
they're like that
culture.
equivalent. Yeah, that whole line in Clone Wars I thought was great.
Oh, with
Where
the
Ahsoka gets stranded on the Trandoshan like
Yeah, the-
hunting planet.
the
It's basically Predators the movie, but
Sure.
done with Star Wars. But it's great. I
yeah.
love it.
Why not? That's what we came to see.
And did you notice in the trophy room there was a crystal skull from Indiana Jones?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw the Gundark on the wall though, so that was
Yeah, there's a Gundark. There was like a bunch of Wookiee pelts. There was one of the Yeti things from Hoth. There's a bunch of Star Wars Easter eggs in there. But then like there's one shot where someone takes a swing and ducks, and you see like the mantle, and there's the Indiana Jones crystal skull just chilling. It's like whatever. Good on him.
Yeah, George Lucas, man.
Yeah, gotta love it. So it's been really fun doing this show together. We are gonna stick around live crowd and play some after show games. So hang out. I'm gonna transfer Kyle over to my second computer that you cannot see over here. Again, thanks to our patrons over at patreon.com/ITN. Thank you all so much. This is the reason we're doing after show games every week. Keep leaving us reviews on iTunes if you have not already. And another shout out for the AMove TV raid call. If you're in the AMove TV chat room by /join space AMove TV, and you're playing with AMove fans and other Into the Nexus fans, we have a raid call channel now, which you can download it over at raidcall.com. Each channel has a specific ID associated with it, and AMove TV's ID is 10554502. The show notes have a link to our ITN subreddit with all of the information about the raid call, which you can get at amove.tv/ITN. So go check it out and talk with your friends. Into the Nexus is produced by amove.tv and Declan H, our Patreon producer. So thank you very much, Declan. You can see more about this and all of the other shows we do over at amove.tv. Our email is itncast@gmail.com. Catch us live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/amovetv or on alphageekradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at IGNcast, and check out Brian Griffith, the musician who made our intro music, over at briangriffithmusic.com. Kyle, where can folks find you when you're not sitting next to me?
Well, in Washington normally, but this week I was in Florida, and you can find me always at Twitter, at Kyle Ferguson. You can also find me at kyleferguson.com, 2 S's in Ferguson. That's where I post my Dungeons & Dragons articles. This week, there was none because I've got a story I'm going to be sharing with this gentleman and some friends tomorrow.
Yes.
And I will be writing that all up for you. If you want to...
my second game of D&D.
Right, this will be... You played 3rd edition the first time, so this will be your second game.
Oh, this is also 3rd edition?
Yeah.
We're not doing the new one?
No, well, Ben has all the books, so we could have done that one. Huh. But since I didn't bring any, dice, I can wing it. Like I've been DMing 3.5 for 13 years. No, I said that 2 years ago, so it must be 15 years at this point. Oh my goodness, I've been DMing 3.5, so I can just pull it out of my butt.
All the nerd points.
Pull it right out of the void.
Right here, guys. All the nerd points in the world. You can find me on Twitter at Garrett Art or over at nomoonart.com for my graphic design portfolio. If you need a freelance graphic designer, check it out, and there's a contact form right there. I reply to all of them, so shoot me a message. And also, you can find me on The Angry Chicken, a podcast about Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft with Jocelyn Moffat and Willie Dills Gregory every Monday, except this past Monday, because I was sick as hell. Check out our sponsors, doghousesystems.com or the code ITN. They've changed the deal. You will get a free upgrade to a solid-state hard drive.
Damn.
I have been a bad host and have not updated my notes, so I don't know the actual size of it. But,
are you going from just non-solid state to solid state?
Well, you get like an additional, like a solid-state drive.
Oh, okay, so they're all solid state.
Well, no, because I forget what the base one is on a doghouse. So you're asking me questions I don't know the answer to.
Gotcha. That's because I'm thrilled to pieces about solid state because I really want one for my computer.
Yeah, I have one in here. It's amazing.
And I bet you boot so easy.
I could turn everything off and we'd be back on air in like a minute.
I'm so jelly.
It's so sexy.
Like, and all those programs that I should go through and set to not automatically update or turn on when I start my computer. They're always there, and yeah, I want solid state.
Do you?
Yes.
Is that what you want?
It's everything I want. Cheesy Bob in the chat says it's the best thing ever.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, the new offer is going to be for a 120 gigabyte solid state drive, in addition to the default 1 terabyte regular hard drive.
1 terabyte. Well, yeah.
Yeah. That's actually the exact setup I have in this. So I have Windows installed on the solid state, and then I just kind of throw everything else on the 1 terabyte regular drive.
I could cry. I'm so jealous.
It's smexy. It's
smexy.
Smexy. Very smexy. So again, use the code ITN over at doghousesystems.com and get a 120 gigabyte solid state hard drive for free and directly support the show in the process. We thank them for their support. Also, check out tweakedaudio.com, the makers of delightfully nice noise reducing earbuds, where you can use the same code ITN and it'll get you 30% off and free shipping on your entire order of noise reducing earbuds. So check them out, tweakedaudio.com, use the code ITN. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Kyle, for being here. I can give you a pound.
Yeah. Fist pound on air. I actually touched him.
Yeah. I'm like rubbing him.
I'm
invading his bubble.
I'm really here.
Yeah. God.
I'm gonna touch.
Oh no.
Oh, everyone's so jealous that I'm touching.
He's touching the hair.
I'm touching the hair.
He's rubbing the streak for good luck. He's gonna win the lottery next week. Kyle, it's been great. This has been really fun. I wish we could do this all the time.
Absolutely, dude.
Maybe not with this seating arrangement, but
sure. Well, and with you feeling better would
Yeah.
In the future.
That would be delightful. But thanks, everyone. We'll see you for the after shows games. Good luck and have fun.
Take care.